is vibration. All in life, in a sense, is tonality. All in life is your consciousness taking the primal energy out of which all matter is created, and creating that matter by, in a sense, altering the vibratory frequencies of that primal homogeneous energy out of which all is created. All is vibration, different rates, different frequencies, different bandwidths, if you wish. But all is made of the same, one primal energy. All of the differences in physical worlds, all of the differences of physical material objects are all simply different rates of frequency, different rates of vibration of the one primal energy. That primal energy is what you very often refer to as love itself. You are literally, in many ways, made of love itself. Love is light. Light is love. Light is the first physicalized manifestation of the primal energy as a physical universe. First there is the primal template, the framework, the idea that, in a sense, imposes itself, if you will, upon the fundamental energy in such a way as to allow the fundamental energy to take upon itself that template, that framework of the essence, of the idea that is going to be played out in any particular universe. And then, in a sense, the vibratory energy is decelerated down to what you call the fundamental material, light itself. Out of that light, energy as you know it, what you call electromagnetic energy, from that all particle ideas are created, all subatomic, all atomic, all molecular particles, all groupings. All of these ideas are different decelerations, solidification, crystallization, if you will, of the fundamental light energy out of which all matter is created. And that fundamental light is the product of the primary energy being stepped down to solidify, to thicken, if you will, itself as the fundamental physicalized universal experience. Now, you, each and every one of you, in a sense, therefore, are cohesive crystallization within that energy, made of that energy and able to use that energy. You are valves. You are funnels, in a sense, gateways, doorways, switching units, if you wish, embedded in the primal energy, embedded in the light energy, the universal energy. You have the ability to crystallize a representational form within you, within the consciousness that you are, to congeal, if you will, out of that light energy, a solid representation of the idea you are being at any given moment. And truly crystalline it is in many ways, and can be likened to what you call a prism. Now, a prism exists within the homogeneous white light all around you, through itself like a valve, and it will differentiate that light into the various spectral electromagnetic frequencies that you recognize as your spectrum: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, visibly so. You know there are invisible spectrums of infrared and below, ultraviolet and beyond, the idea beyond your perceptible reality. But nonetheless, the analogy is the same. You, as a physical persona, are the prismatic representation of the consciousness you are, Through that prism, the white light, the homogeneous oneness of the consciousness that you are, passes through that prismatic valve, through that gate, and is broken down, fragmented down into all the differentiations you call objects, circumstances, situations of physical reality. The prism that you are is created by the institutionalization of three concepts. Number one, belief. Number two, emotion. And number three, thought, as you understand it as physical thought, electrochemical thought in that way. Through the product of your belief, emotion, and thought, do you create and then experience, seemingly in a direct way, the physical reality. But physical reality is made of the same, if you will, stuff as you are made of. Physical reality literally is made of you. Your physical day-to-day reality in which you think you exist is actually what you really are as a being. It is all the experiences you are having of yourself in the idea of the event you are being, the event that you are. All the different circumstances, all the different relationships, all the different events that you experience in life are all of the multi-dimensional mirror reflections of all the different components that go into making up the single event that you are expressing yourself to be as this idea you call physical reality. When you touch a wall, you are touching you. When you sit in your chair, you are sitting in you, literally. And the way this works is for you to remember. And once again, if you take this to heart and begin to apply your life through this principle, it can have a profound difference in the way you see and the way you create your reality. And this principle is simply to remember that consciousness does not exist within the body. Your body exists within your consciousness. All physical reality exists within your consciousness. Physical reality is your dream. Literally. All is a dream and all is real. Dreams are real. Reality is a dream. It is all one and the same thing. The only thing that makes it appear different in that way is the different definitions that you give to the different dreams. Physical reality, a dream with the illusion of solidity to the exclusion of all other dreams consciously. That is what physical reality is. It is no different than the dream reality in which you allow yourself to reconnect to in your sleep state. Those are real scenarios, real realities. Now, when you awaken, you may not always interpret the situation, the experience you had in the dream reality, literally the way it happened, because your outer aware consciousness, in thinking that this physical reality is now the real reality, will choose the symbols it is familiar with to represent the experience you had as best as it can in the non-physical reality. But real it was, represented to some degree accurately it can be. But what your dreams are always representations of an actual experience. You are very busy when you are dreaming. Your lives do not stop. They go on in many different ways, in many expanded ways. The way you usually think of the idea of a dream, and the way you usually think of the idea of your physical lives as being more real than the dream reality, can be turned completely 180 degrees, as you say, around to let you know that in a sense from the dream reality, physical reality is what appears to be the limited dream, and the dream reality, the non-physical reality, is what is the most expansive and ecstatic of experiences. And when you, quote-unquote, wake up to your higher self, the act of waking up in physical reality is in many ways the act of a portion of yourself going back to sleep, isolating itself, limiting itself, confining itself to a specific dream with specific reasons and specific functions and specific limitations, usually of which allow you to forget that the dream reality is where you actually were far more awake in many ways than you are in the physical reality in which you think you are bright and wide awake.